Good morning, namaste, Merry Christmas is over, Hare Krishna, time to say goodbye to Jesus till next year and start worrying about net neutrality and getting our internet back. Just kidding, Jesus can be in your life every day if you want and if he talks to you. Alright, we got a beautiful city to explore today. Better carb up first. As you've seen, I've been pretty fascinated with the concept, the human commitment and devotion to religious practice and story. Really, forget even the word religion. Humans' obsession with following fanciful stories and using that as a form of faith in order to get through our very problematic and difficult life. That's really what religions are. They're tools for people to cope with the mayhem, which is the universe. Personally, I accept that the mayhem is what the world is. You can't put it into a box. You can't understand everything. No, we don't know what happens when we die. We don't know if there's a God. Nothing communicates to us. Sure, like, we have spiritual connections with nature, but I've always just been turned off. You know, I get people sometimes, I'll be honest, on this channel, so I should probably address it because I can't send everyone back an email about the same thing, but who email me and say, Jackson, I hear what you say about like biblical religions, that it makes you uncomfortable just following the stories, but like, have you ever allowed Jesus to come communicate with you or like let Jesus into your heart? And while I don't judge you for sending me that email, and if that has happened to you, that is incredible and congratulations, but because I have never even come close, I think, to a entity of such a being coming to me spiritually and like communicating with English language or whatever it is, because that seems really crazy to me, honestly, and I don't actually believe that. But then again, this is only my human experience, but if my experience is similar to others, because I don't believe in that, it is hard for me to take serious someone who proposes such a question. But I'm just fascinated with the concept. I'm not judging anyone, I'm just interested. And this is the mission of Santa Barbara. It was built in the early 1800s, and I am going to learn about this place and its historical significance with religion in the sense of Native Americans, and when people colonize here and I think build missions to convert the native people to Christianity. This, I hope we will all agree, is a fictional scene where everyone, including the Virgin right there, Mary, who has never had sex with a man, gave birth to baby Jesus. And they're like, oh my gosh, you must be the prophet we've been looking for, because she had a baby without the sex. That is strange, the swastika imagery, symbolism right there, although originally the swastika was actually a Buddhist symbol of peace. before the Third Reich used it. This right here was the laundry washing basin. It says that Native Americans would be the washers, and this whole pool was filled up with fresh water, and they would scrub and soak the clothes right here on these banks and then rinse them in the water, and that is how they clean their clothes. That is amazing. Could you imagine any modern system in America washing clothes in this way? I doubt anybody does that, period. Do you think any city in America still has a functional outdoor community laundry washing basin like this? I've seen people washing clothes like this in rivers and lakes in Southeast Asian countries all the time, but I don't know if any of these are currently operational. This mission, and there are padres, fathers as they call them. I actually saw a dude walking around in a cloak like he was in the 1800s. Crazy. Can you imagine wearing a cloak every day? That's crazy. Yeah, you gotta pay like 10 bucks to go in there and just like see the garden. Probably not gonna do it. There's more things to explore in this town. I just spent like 5 minutes sniffing as many pungent, succulent roses as I could find. This is so pleasurable. I made it here to Santa Barbara on the 26th today because my parents, my family told me weeks ago that we were gonna do a family trip here in Santa Barbara, just at a hotel and hang out as a family, because we really only are in the same place like once or twice a year, all of us, me and my brothers and my parents. But because of the fires just a few days ago that were put out in this area, everything kind of shut down, but it seems to be all back up to life right now. But we're not doing the Santa Barbara trip. Instead, I'm going home to LA in the next, I'll be there in 2 days, and then we're going to Laguna for a little family getaway. But the fire thing, you know, it's absolutely devastating and sad when fires get out of control near humans and people's homes are destroyed, and it's very sad. People die sometimes, but bigger picture, we can use this lesson and this teaching from the universe. It's pretty much the greatest example of non-attachment you can have. We assume so many things in our life are solid, like our house. If we drive there to that one spot, we know our house is gonna be there. Our room's gonna be there. The roof is gonna be there. It's so solid. I've never imagined me going back to LA to that location and that house that I grew up in not being there. But of course, that is a delusion that we get so attached and solid in our beliefs of anything, because boom, one day your house can burn down in a fire. That could happen any day. But we live our lives usually thinking that we have control over so many things that are truly out of our control. It's just a good chance that they won't burst up into flames that day. But it could happen at any moment. That's why you gotta live life lightheartedly. Don't get attached to thinking that anything is inherently solid and true, because whether it's a human or a house or a friendship or an idea or a body type, everything is changing all the time. You can't keep up with controlling everything. It's impossible. So instead, you have to surrender honor that you are an ephemeral, changing being, and just be present in the moment every day and be grateful for what's in front of you instead of building a life around this diluted notion of who you are, the label you're in, the money you have, the relationships you have, because it's gonna change. Someday it's gonna change because things die and things transform. That's okay. Surrender. I'm watching these ballerinas of the skateboard do their magic, and I've seriously been here for like an hour. I'm just in awe. I could watch the flow of people moving along Mother Earth with a moving board under them all day. It's so satisfying to watch the control that these people have over this object that is constantly trying to be out of control and move. Oh my gosh, they're so amazing. Yeah, talk about the bikes too. Oh my, but it's the skateboard that really just captivates my heart. And I just decided to myself at this moment, I'm going to make it a literal priority to learn how to relearn, reteach myself how to kickflip, which I used to do when I was, let's say, 14 and 15 years old, and I've lost it since, and I need to recultivate it, and I'm gonna do it in a couple days when I get home to Los Angeles. I'm very excited. Let's begin this journey. Jackson attempts to kickflip again. How long will it take? Let me know in the comments below your guess. My guess, I'm just gonna say off the top of my head, it's gonna take me 10 days of riding. Ooh, that's ambitious, but let's go with it. Keeping the persimmon season alive. I forget even to vlog these days. I just crank out my work and then just battle it out until I can't anymore, and then I go to bed. You never even met him? That's so crazy. But my host Michael is wild. He just slipped in and out. The camera never got him. Much love, Dream Extreme.